Yes, welcome back to the National Tennis Centre here in Roehampton. Glorious afternoon. And we are looking forward to what should be another really good singles match between the up-and-coming Emma Raducanu in your picture there, just 17 years of age, showing so much promise already this week, up against her more experienced foe in the background. Let's go down and introduce the players. It'll be Abby.
2 points on the line in the second match of the day. Playing for the British Bulldogs, she's on a roll. It's Emma Raducanu. And for the Union Jacks, she won their first match tiebreak. It's Heather Watson.
You've lost your team.
I know. They're exhausted after that one.
She did, and an important match tiebreak that could be, because they have had certainly that was an important win, obviously, as far as the Jacks are concerned, for Judy Murray, who perhaps maybe saw the benefit, as we suggested, of just playing those extra matches over the course of the last month.
Do you want cold or?
Yes, please.
I'll get some.
I'm Nick Lester alongside Naomi Cavaday. Bruce is busy, isn't he? He's water boy now as well. I mean, he's cameraman, he's water boy.
He's supporting them now as well. Give us some tactics.
Everyone's been busy this week. It's been a really good team that has been put together behind the scenes, working hard to put this together. Jamie Murray, obviously the man with the idea to get this team event going. Of course, we see a lot of team events, don't we, across the continent and here in the UK, to be fair. Club tennis, obviously, is doing its best to thrive. But team tennis on the continent in France and Germany, you must have played a few team events on the continent, did you, Kath?
You know, I actually never did. I mean, most people did, though, playing German League, French League, that sort of thing. It's very popular. It's a really high standard. Plenty of top 100 players playing there. So I think you're going to get a nice, easy club match. That's not the case when they pull out some strong teams. But, yeah, a lot of players have benefited from that. But I have played, I think, all of the domestic team events, so the county stuff and National Club League.
Yes, you're a Cumberland girl, aren't you?
I am indeed, yeah, 3 times national champions.
Jeez, had to get that in there, didn't we? Cumberland, a lovely little club up in Hampstead area, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah, in northwest London.
Yeah, they do a nice job up there.
Annie Kay was on our team, actually, one time, the first time we won it. That was nice.
Jeez, you've got a good recruiter there, haven't you?
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're getting some good players there.
Her sister was the captain, so she...
Okay. It's who you know.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, that's how Jamie got Andy on his team this week.
And just a reminder, no sit down during the first 5 minutes. Any questions? Heads or tails?
Heads, please.
Heads. And it's please. Sir.
I'll take this side.
Okay.
Thank you.
Going to be playing in the heat of the day at just before 2 o'clock after a lengthy opening match here. But Heather Watson up against Emma Raducanu, who is just 17 years of age. Already enjoyed watching her play this week. That win over Burridge, of course, yesterday. Had a win over Bolter. She's had a really good week as Raducanu. It was only a couple of weeks ago that she won the British Tour event here as well. So is feeling match tight. Couple of wins for Heather Watson already here this week. One would suggest it's going to take a little bit of a while for her to find her feet again. What have you made of what you've seen in the opening couple of wins?
I think I'd assess it as kind of steady for Heather. I mean, of course, this was her first singles coming back, and she was playing against players who've played a lot of tennis and really been coming at her with her game style. So I think she started off kind of quite within herself, trying to be as consistent as possible. She was quite stressed, is what she said, in her first round match against Beth Gray here. But she managed to come through that in straight sets. Again, really pushed up against it, but the experience just coming in those crucial moments. But, you know, look, is she looking slick and match tight just yet? Not quite, but the more she puts herself out there, the more she gets those matches under her belt, she'll be absolutely fine. Everything will improve and she'll be able to shake off any rust that she feels.
Coming in, of course, prior to lockdown, after that win in Mexico, that title run there, what a wonderful achievement that was for her. And of course, that propelled her up into the top 50 again, which is where she sits right now. Of course, the rankings having been frozen, the WTA Tour due to resume next week in Palermo. Beautiful part of the world down there in southern Italy. And here is Emma Raducanu, who's 17 years of age. The WTA ranking just off a career high, actually, at 338. You can see there. What's the situation with regards to her playing juniors, Cav? Do you know how much she's sort of focusing? Is this to the intention to play some juniors and mix the two?
Well, she had already, before lockdown came in, she had already started like relaxing a bit on the junior front. I mean, as long as she can play in the Grand Slams, and if you're a top 500 in the WTA, doesn't matter what your junior ranking is, you'll be able to get in. So she is she'll play all the Grand Slams that she possibly can whenever those Grand Slams happen. But other than that, she's of course focusing on the WTA performances. She's won her first 25k, so that's the one up from the entry level, which she already has a title in. So showing that she's ready to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, very intelligent young lady as well is Emma. Dad is from Romania, mum's from China. She actually speaks Mandarin, does Emma Raducanu. Got a lot going for a very articulate young lady. Very mature as well for just 17 years of age. Studies very important. I've always focused on that side of things as we see our chair umpire here. What are we looking out for today? Obviously, Emma's been possibly playing the better tennis of the two this week, isn't she? What has she got to do well today, do you think?
I think so. In general, she has the more aggressive game style, but she is also full of a bit more confidence than Heather Watson is. But this will be a real test for Watson, I think, coming into this match, because she needs to up her level a little bit to compete with what we've seen from Raducanu. If Raducanu can produce like she did in the last couple of matches, she got some really good wins. And I think definitely, surprisingly, if you look on paper, but I think based on what we've seen this week, Raducanu looking to be the favourite here.
It's a former British #1 in the captain's corner for Emma Raducanu for the British Bulldogs, who still hold a significant lead here over the Union Jacks. Last-minute tactics being relayed.
Strong start here.
Judy Murray in deep conversation with Heather Watson right now.
And then we can reassess.
As we've seen this week,
First set.
these young ladies, these young British players have
Emma Raducanu
really made
representing
a
British
dent
Bulldogs to
on
serve.
some of the older generation so far. It's been good to see, and we'll see if it continues here this afternoon.
Lot 15. Let. First serve. 15 all.
Yeah, Raducanu has had a little bit of a shoulder injury that kept her out of the Progress Tour, but that's all okay now, we think?
Yeah, definitely under control. It's been something that niggles her on occasion, kind of flares up and then relaxes down with a bit of rest.
$15.30.
Raducanu looking in disbelief. That's found the line.
Yeah, I think Watson's going to need to make sure that she just ups the aggression level from what we've seen in her last couple of matches. Can't sit back and just let Raducanu get the strike that she wants.
Actually got the LTA awards tonight, haven't we? I know you were discussing it earlier on, and Raducanu certainly in the hunt to win the Young Player of the Year.
Yep, that's for the under 18s.
15.40.
Yeah, I mean, everything is celebrated from Club of the Year, competition, volunteers, coaches, players. Unfortunately, this one can't be in the running for Competition of the Year, but I'm sure it will be next year.
Commentators,
Oh,
get a look in.
Do you know what? We should. Do you know, I'm on the panel. I'm on the
Let's.
judging panel for it all.
First
So
serve.
Come on, Cav.
I'll make that suggestion for next year.
Throw us a bone there, will you?
Sorry, Nick. You'll get a call.
Game.
And an ideal start
Watson.
for
First
the
game.
current British number 2 there. Heather Watson with the break. Let's take a little look at what Emma Raducanu's been doing a little differently perhaps in the last few weeks, as we can see from her match, in particular yesterday, Cav.
Yeah, really nice looking at the forehand return hit points and just actually how many she is chipping back when she's out in that position. And okay, she's played against some strong servers. I wonder whether we'll see maybe less of that today against Watson just because the serve is not as pacey. But something she's really been bringing into her game. She was telling me the other day that she's been working on the variety a lot with Mark Petchey and that he's coaching her in quite a different way to any other coach that she's worked with. So that's really interesting. But I think that is an element that has really come into her game nicely.
Yes, made
Heather Watson to
83%
serve.
of returns yesterday in her win over Judy Burridge, so getting herself into a lot of points.
Love 15.
There will be more opportunities for Raducanu to strike, particularly off that second serve. You see she's so far inside the baseline. Fabulous technique with the positioning of the hips.
She can keep that level of hitting
Love
up,
13.
as we saw yesterday, puts opponents under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Heather's going to be looking to try and redirect the pace as much as possible. Really work on her counter-punching because there will be plenty coming at her. Just needs to make sure that the error doesn't come in before she's able to do that.
$15.30.
simple the first serves are going to be in order to try and give her an opportunity to get on the front foot. That reply just a little too short. Wins over Beth Gray and Eden Silva in the 2 wins so far.
40-30.
Yeah, and with Beth and Eden, neither of them are quite as heavy ball strikers as Raducanu, so there will be a bit of a different challenge here.
Watson leads 2 games to love.
So it's been an impressive start by this lady.
Yeah, smart to go with the drop shot there, just to pull Raducanu forward. Judy Murray very happy, and of course Heather was part of Judy's Fed Cup team, so having her alongside is feel pretty comfortable. They've done it before, although Judy hasn't been Fed Cup captain for 4 years.
Love. $15-all.
Yeah, the placement of the serve for Watson going to be so crucial. It's hard to get it out of the hit zone of Raducanu.
Katie Bolter making her way in. Get some decent shape to the forehand, doesn't she, Raducanu? We were looking at some of the spin rates. Good margin for error off that forehand side, Kev.
Yeah, good spin rate, absolutely, to control that pace. And you can feel that she just has a good grip of the ball, that she's really got it held on the racket, and she can kind of go in either direction with it. By contrast, I mean, when she was playing Jodie Burrage was hitting the ball a little bit harder, but didn't have anywhere near as much spin, and so she was having a lot more unforced errors on the court, and Raducanu was a bit more under control.
Come out here with a lot of intent, isn't she? Looking to try and take time away. It's working well so far.
Yeah, right up the court there, and you can see, I mean, Watson's not all about power, is she? And on that forehand side, just guiding it up the line for a winner, but really smart with how she creates the space on the court, and then how she's still able to hit through just by leaning with the body.
Right place. Game. Raducanu. Watson leads 2-1.
So Raducanu settling down and getting herself up and running here. 2-1. She trails by a break.
Yeah, good to get her on the board. I agree. Watson just with that intent, playing up the court, taking the ball as early as possible. It's just able to push Raducanu into awkward position. She also pulled her up the court as well for that short little, wasn't quite a drop shot, but a short slice. That was uncomfortable.
You just need to raise your energy, yeah? Your intensity level.
Andy Murray just behind this court is hitting a few balls. With Kyle Edmund, there's Jamie Delgado and Matt Little. They're on hand here. Andy will be playing doubles actually with Lloyd Glasspool in the next match. And there is Kyle Edmund, who played really well last night in the doubles. He was MVP, I think, in that match. Excellent stuff from Kyle.
Love 15.
That is very well played indeed.
Watson just looking so sharp, and you could see the angle that was created by her being so far up the court. The backhand, this one that just went so wide. Raducanu rushed for time, having to stretch, and we've seen her stretching an awful lot already in this match.
We talked about that chip return actually a couple of times. We haven't seen it so much today, have we?
No, and I do think that because there's less pace coming at her than she would have had against Bolter or Burridge, maybe just deciding that she might get a couple more looks at coming over the top of it. But something like that, I mean, that was a really wide serve there from Watson. Possibly could have thrown it in there.
Stop it. This is seriously good hitting.
40-15.
Well, Watson would have been aware that she would have had to up her level playing against Raducanu. She has done just that so far in this match. Really fabulous placement of the ball, and that is what she does so well, the precision of where that ball lands.
Oh. 40-30. Game. Watson.
That's been a super start for Watson.
Watson leads.
He's come out hitting the ball very cleanly indeed. And this will illustrate some of the differences, Cav, just in terms of the court position between the two so far.
Yeah, Watson, we've been saying, just so far up the court, and that has been creating so much width for her, angles. Also, we've seen a couple of drop shots come in, which are really difficult to play from behind the baseline. And by contrast, Raducanu just getting pushed around there. I mean, she's not miles behind the baseline, but she's somebody who likes to really be up on it. It's those sorts of returns, so deep, getting right underneath Raducanu's feet. She can barely get out of the way in time. Having to push back after that first serve, a couple of meters there.
Oh, this is just lights out stuff. 7 of the 8 winners hit so far have come from this lady. Should just tell you that Liam Brody is a set down at the moment to Jan Choinski. Again, they are playing for the second time.
Love 14.
The slice just kept the ball low, but still it was in a decent position there, Raducanu.
At 15-40.
It's going to go long.
Watson.
Another unforced
Watson
error.
leads 4-1.
And Heather Watson in command of this opening set. It's been a really good start from her. And she wins 4 of the opening 5 games. Let's have a quick chat with Judy, shall we?
Yeah, I'm here.
Judy, an impressive start from Heather. Seems to have come out with plenty of intent here.
Yeah, she absolutely has. She's timing the ball beautifully so far. She's been very, very aggressive from the back of the court, waiting for anything that is a little bit loose in the front part of the court, and really going hard and fast at Raducanu. So, I mean, I think you want to get off to a good start here. You want to kind of put her in her place, as it were, because you know, Raducanu's had a great few matches here. It's been a really good event for her, but it's important for Heather to stamp her authority on it from the start. So let's hope it continues, because the Jacks need the points.
You do. Thank you, Judy. We'll let you get back to it. What was that game show they used to say, points win prizes? What was that on? Showing my age there, you see.
Law 15.
Yeah. Team downstairs telling me it was bullseye, of course. And that was well and truly on target, that forehand, wasn't it? better from Raducanu. Can she build on this? Oh, well done. Watson not sure, but she has made it. Perfect time to play it, having moved into the court. Got her opponent moving back.
Raducanu dealing with the depth well there from Watson. Able to find a bit of width off it. Seems to have a bit more time on the ball, but just looking for the change-up. Yeah, it is looking really solid, isn't it, from the Watson end? And it seems like Raducanu is just going to have to find that level that she has had the past couple of matches. And as I mentioned, different game styles as well, so she might have to do it for a couple of shots longer than maybe she's comfortable with.
Cut the angle off there beautifully. That was the key. She's timing it so well so far.
Yes.
I think she's been feeling pretty confident. I had a chat with her yesterday and she said coming into her first match, it's just so hard when you haven't played for so long because you just have no idea what you're going to be able to produce. It could be pretty good. It could be elements that just are not working at all. But I think she was pretty happy with both the couple of performances that she's had. They were both very tight matches, so really had to scrap. So I think mentally she's in a good spot.
Yeah, certainly very happy off the court, isn't she? She's dating the footballer now, the Yeovil Town footballer, Courtney. They've been together about a year or so. That seems very settled off the court. Talk so often, don't we, about emotionally, if you're happy off the court, how that obviously can translate onto your tennis.
Game, Watson.
Yeah, that's a big game for Watson to win that. Down in there.
Watson leads 5
Raducanu
games
had
to
some
1.
opportunities, and you can now see this is where Raducanu has to really control her thoughts and decision making. That's Dan Evans is pretty happy with the situation. But Raducanu really needs to maintain control over things, because if she just tries to hit through Watson, it's going to be very difficult. She will come up with a lot of errors. Something that is tough to do at the best of time because Watson is such a good counter-puncher. And you can almost kind of see Raducanu through this set swinging around. There'll be one point where she's trying to be really consistent, and then that's not quite working, and then one point where she's just going to go for it, but she maybe picks the wrong shot. Just got to really try and find this balance.
Love 30.
Well, Dan Evans has found his voice.
I thought he brought the horns. We didn't need to use his voice, but he's doing both.
$15.30.
That's a nice shot off the back foot on the backhand. Still able to generate pace.
$40.30.
Was that a Brody forehand? Thank you. Into the net. Thank you.
They're losing control.
Go.
James Raducanu.
So not to be.
Watson leads 5
Emma
games to 2.
Raducanu
New balls,
having
please.
some early struggles in this one. Up against a more experienced opponent. 5-2, Watson in front.
Well, this is a really different situation for Raducanu because she has not been allowed to stamp her authority from the very beginning of the match and really influence how the match is going. So all of the energy is with Watson, and she's got to really wrestle her way into this. She's got to find a way to disrupt the Watson game, but also be able to get her game out on court. Sometimes it can get a little overwhelming when it feels like there's so much to do to get things back on track. You've just got to start with one element.
Coming at you, you just have to be sharp with those feet.
Have all the Bulldogs gone home?
Sorry, I don't know what happens to the rest of your team. One at a time out here. Yeah? Keep your energy up. Come on.
As an IMG client is Emma Raducanu, signed by the management company fairly recently. They've obviously seen her potential. Part of the LTA's PSP program as well, receives the highest level of funding does Emma from the LTA to help her along.
Not the first time we've seen Raducanu look rushed, and again, it's not because of the pace, it is that positioning on the court. Watson is suffocating Rada for time.
Dirty love.
And anything short is getting punished.
10 winners, just 3 unforced errors for Watson today. It's been clean.
Is
there more to come from Heather? Long term, do you think? 50 in the world. We know she had her struggles at times over the last couple of years. The ranking has dropped, hasn't it? Sort of rescued it at the end of last year. But, I mean, do you see her, when things get back to normal, being a top 20 player? Is the potential there? We have seen it, obviously, in spurts, haven't we?
I think really what suits Heather's mentality through the year is picking up these titles, going on these runs like she did in Acapulco. She has done in Hobart before. She's not necessarily the most consistent performer through the year, so it doesn't reflect in the ranking necessarily the standard that she can play. So if you were to say, do I think she's going to get to top 20? I think that's a bit of a stretch, but is she going to pick up some titles? Like, yeah, I think she's got more in her.
Well, if she plays like this,
game. In first set, Watson by 6 games
there's every
to
chance
2.
if she can reproduce this level when the tour resumes, she's going to get some decent wins. She might get another one here in a great position, set to the good, 6-2.
Temperature's really getting up now on court. Pretty toasty out there, see all the umbrellas.
Let's have a look at the numbers. We touched on some of them. It was a very, very good set.
Yeah, high percentage of first serves from Watson, but she's really placing them well, so she's winning a huge amount behind that serve as well. And for Emma, the first serve percentage is not so bad, but it's just not being that effective, and that's totally different to what we've seen in her previous 2 singles matches through this week. Through the other 2 matches, her first serve percentage was very low, but the effectiveness was so high. She was winning virtually all of the points behind the first serve. So that is slightly different today. I'm not sure whether that is a conscious decision, but definitely taking a bit of pace off the ball on that first serve. But it means that she is getting punished because Watson's taking the ball early, she's striking the ball clean, and Raducanu is getting pushed onto the back foot very early on in rallies.
Fourth day of this event, providing some much needed competition. Of course, the tour due to resume imminently next month, assuming everything goes to plan. Do we know Heather's plans? She plans to play in Cincinnati. Is she going to be close to the cut there at 50?
Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely looking at the US, of course, leading up to the US Open. I'm not sure whether she'd actually get in or not. But I'm sure that's where she'll be.
Yeah, I don't think the women's cut's been released for the Western and Southern Open yet, has it? The men's has. Been obviously a number of withdrawals from the US swing, as we noted overnight. Ash Barty's not going to go.
Last 15.
Come on, let's go. Come on, Jack!
Last 30.
The difference in support benches out here has to be said. Quite strong. It has been through the day, actually. The Union Jacks have had quite a number of players out being very loud, and Bulldogs has been pretty sparse.
15-30.
That's what she needs to get things going, just some quick points, just to try and stop this momentum coming at her from Watson. Use that first serve, as she normally does so well. How about that?
15,
So
14.
aggressive out of the corner from Watson.
Come on, this one now, come on.
Really is redirecting the pace of Raducanu effortlessly.
Thirty, 40.
Never been too uncomfortable on that part of the court, is she?
Watson.
A great finish again, a
First
very
game, second
composed
set.
finish. And Watson on a roll. Up a set and a break now.
Yeah, she is often dangerous when she's returning.
I'm not.
She's just been able to find the depth and width so well.
Waiting to the queen. Let's go, Hev. Stay on top.
Come on.
It just feels like she has not budged from that baseline, doesn't it? Whether she's been counter-punching or attacking.
Lady, of course, who was born and bred in Guernsey, having made the move across to the States at the age of 12 to go to the IMG Academy at Nick Bollettieri's. Spends a lot of time with Pat Harrison, doesn't she? The dad of Christian and Ryan Harrison, who's been kind of really looking after Heather's career for a while on and off. Travelled with Rob Morgan at the end of last year. Made that final in Tianjin, the last event of last season, in fact.
Let. Second serve.
Yeah, that's Raducanu just over-hitting. It was a
50
shorter ball, but she didn't get the feet up to it. So she was waiting for it and then tried to hit a bit too much to get it past Heather.
Dirty love.
Just got it all going on today. Flawless stuff out here from this lady.
Gotta love that. Again, it was a big strike from Raducanu. That was the most impressive shot for me from Watson out on that forehand side. Feet inside the baseline, absorbing that pace and redirecting it. And it's just taking so much time away from Raducanu.
Just bossing proceedings out here is the lady who was
Watson leads 2 games
certainly the
to
more
love.
experienced, of course, the much more higher ranked of the two opponents. We thought this might be tight, but it's been far from it so far.
You can just see there the difference in topspin forehand speeds in miles per hour from Watson. A lot more than Raducanu on the ball, 5 miles per hour off of both sides.
Yeah, and that's actually up a fair bit this week as well on what it has been, up 5 miles an hour on the forehand side in particular.
Lead first serve. Love.
Yeah, she needs to get something going here. It is feeling very much like one-way traffic. Needs to find a way to get Watson off the baseline. Or if she's up at the baseline, then to be able to punch through those holes, but then she needs to address her own position and get further up the court.
Liam Brody, I can tell you, continues to struggle. He's down a set and a break now, and Jan Choinski. It's over on court number 1 right now. Choinski, of course, part of the Union Jack team, so it's starting to look very good for the Jacks today.
Raducanu getting away with it there. Serve was a little in the slot, and it meant that Watson could get on top of the rally with a deep return.
Just a little long. Again, wasn't lacking for intent though from Watson, was it?
2 games to 1.
Raducanu in touch in the second. That's the good news. Still struggling though, 2-1.
Emphasising is just looking to do the right things, yeah? Maintain a really good attitude, yeah? And you'll get your chance. I like what you're doing with your whole body language. Carry yourself well, okay? She's going to hit some steaming wins, but I'm sure she started with you. Yeah.
So I'm like trying, but I'm literally just like trying to like get my wrist around it, you know? It's like, I feel like it's just on there.
Yeah.
Like I can't go back quick enough.
Yeah.
I feel like honestly I just targeting my throat.
Yeah. You know where it's coming.
Time!
Just give it a tea and reduce them. Feel it, yeah? Shimmy around a bit more. Come on.
Well, is there going to be a let-up from Heather Watson in this match? That's the question, because it's been a very sustained high level from her so far.
In love.
Now that first serve percentage touching 80% right now, just shy. Not giving Raducanu too many looks.
Let. First serve.
Raducanu just giving up the position a little too early, and I think that really is the key for her. She's got to force her way into the match, and she can't out-hit Watson just from a metre or so behind the baseline. She's got to get that positioning up. Okay, she might miss a couple just to start with. Such good depth.
40 love.
I mean, really, it seems like her only other option is to wait and hope that Watson goes off the boil for a little bit.
Let. First serve.
I have to say, I am actually kind of surprised with how Watson's been able to play in this match after watching the last couple of matches, which I thought were good. There was a lot of good stuff about it, but it just did have that sort of steady energy about it. This is completely different. This is sharp. This is aggressive.
Game. Watson. Watson leads 3-1.
If you think this is only her third match after having those 4 months and the enforced break, it's very impressive.
Love.
I mean, just bruising the ball. Any opportunity to get forward, she's taking it.
15 all.
Very good, guys!
'em. I mean, not only can Raducanu not get away with anything, even sort of the neutral shots are getting punished. Watson just in the zone.
All. .40-30.
Starting to find that tee serve on the juice side nicely. Just a little bit wild there from Raducanu. She really needs to get out of this game. There are no signs of a let-up from the other end.
Advantage, Watson.
Oh, the momentum certainly with the Union Jacks at this stage of the day. Double break, you feel, would be enough here, given the way she's played. Raducanu's already won 3 ITF titles despite her tender years. Won the $25,000 event in India last year. Actually won 3 of her 4 matches that week in deciding sets. It's proving her toughness. Good. Certainly already seems to be a good match player despite the problems she's facing here. The competitor.
Second serve.
You can just see how those strikes from Raducanu, they're just not penetrating from back there. Couple of
Watson.
crunches down the line, but Watson there with lots of time.
Game. Watson.
And that may be that as far as this match is concerned.
Watson leads 4 games to 1.
A double fault gifting the second break of serve here. It's been all Heather Watson, who's large and in charge at 4-1. Let's have a quick chat with Anne. Tough day so far for Emma. Anne, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, well, Heather's clearly come out with a strong game plan. She's executing incredibly well. Her ball speed and depth has been incredibly high in today's match, and she just hasn't really given Emma much of a look in out here. Keep expecting her to crack and you know, give Emma some more free points, but that hasn't quite happened yet.
Just a case of hanging in, and anything she can do, you think, just to stem it a little?
Well,
or?
there is a bit of fatigue that's set in there from Emma. You know, you can't underestimate how intense these and long these days have been. You know, she's just got to hang in, compete, and give herself a chance. But I would like to, you know, it's easier said than done. You know, if she could just mix up a bit of the pace and height out here, but. You know, Heather's been playing with such great depth, it hasn't been easy for her.
Thanks, Annie.
Okay.
Far from it. Anne Keothavong, the captain of the British Bulldogs, alongside Leon Smith, who's over on the court adjacent, watching Liam Brodie and Jan Chowinski.
Love 15.
You agree with what Anne was saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it could be one way if she could just play with height and depth and get that up high to Watson. She won't be able to lean on the ball as she has been down low and take it early. And of course, Raducanu just absolutely needs to hang in as best she can. Watson is ranked higher, and she is more experienced. And it really is showing.
Love 30.
Give a slower second serve there, setting up for Raducanu to get a good strike on.
15-30.
Trying to force the issue, wasn't far away.
That's the higher ball Annie Kay was talking about there. And you can see Watson trying to take it early, but she can't take it in that low position that she would like. Just disrupting the rhythm. So credit to Raducanu for making a change.
Could this change the momentum here?
Left. Game. Raducanu. Watson leads 4-2.
Better. It's starting to get something going here, maybe.
15 love.
It was a heck of a forehand, almost a half volley up the line, and elicited a short reply.
And just some errors starting to creep in now for Watson. Doesn't look as self-assured. It's amazing just what that small amount of pressure can do. Looks like somebody is absolutely cruising with their level. And suddenly she looks a bit uncomfortable.
Good stuff, and there is a little change of pace. A couple of times we've seen it already.
14,
with the higher
15.
ball, giving Watson something different to work with.
And suddenly Watson looking a little tentative. Not entirely sure. Just means her shots don't have that extra bit of zip on.
Game. Raducanu.
Back-to-back games for the first time today for Emma Raducanu, excuse me. And she has reduced the arrears here. It's 4-3. Watson still up a break in the second. Well, some light at the end of the tunnel maybe for this lady right now. Jan Choinski, meanwhile, has got a match point on Liam Brodie over on court number 1.
Time.
Everyone.
Is that over? Thank you very much, Lloyd.
Let's nip over to court number 1 and just catch that match point. Wide it goes. Another victory for Jan Choinski and another victory for the Union Jacks today. They're building nicely. That was a super smash.
That was so tough. It was so deep and it was falling so steeply as well off the bounce.
Well, she hasn't had too many second serves to look at, but the ones she has done, she's starting to make the most of them.
Exactly what Watson needs to get herself going. We saw plenty of those shots. It felt like it was almost every point we were watching something like that in the first set.
"15 winners off the forehand side for Heather Watson this afternoon. Yeah, 13 of those, Hawkeye telling us, have come up the line.
40-15.
Giving, again, just an indication of the levels of aggression that she's brought to this court today.
Yeah, and a lot of the time they were like that last one where she was pushed into the corner and you're expecting sort of a bit more of a defensive, maybe counter punch, but really looking at the aggressive side of that. Raducanu possibly thinking that she's done enough to get herself a short ball or at least keep Watson pinned back, but not so.
Just trying to take it on. There was the wind maybe caught it as well. It was mistimed, and Watson game away from completing the win.
Let's go!
Yeah, a really crucial game there for Watson. And I tell you what, if she can get this done within the next game or two, it really has been an outstanding performance all round to keep that level going.
Team love.
Raducanu's almost not entirely sure what to do when she does get that opportunity. She got herself tied up a bit there, too close to the ball.
Well, we perhaps didn't expect this to be quite as one-sided as it has been. But you can only be impressed with what Heather Watson's brought to the court this afternoon. 2 points away. That's well played again. It's been almost flawless today, hasn't it?
Yeah, just a couple of games where she backed off, but it wasn't even a huge amount. But she managed to just sort that out sharpish. Got back to her original game plan. It's been brilliant.
Advantage, Raducanu.
That's the serve that has started working for her really well in this second set.
Keeps herself in this one, does Emma Raducanu. Hanging tough.
5 games to 4.
Can she break? She must do to stay alive. It's 5-4. Judy Murray had a quick word, but hasn't needed to give too much, has she, in terms of advice? I wouldn't have thought this afternoon.
I was about to say, but it's boiling. So good, swinging, that's going to be very hot.
Just burn yourself.
Yeah, it has been a really great performance. She just knew exactly what she was doing right from the beginning.
Time.
As I mentioned, Watson
Let's go, Hav. Here
Judy
we
Murray
go.
have worked an awful lot together over the years.
Come on, first point, right now, all you. Come on.
So can she apply the finishing touches here to what's been a strong display? Her best performance of the week, unquestionably. Can she make it 3 from 3?
Keeping it simple. Serve on first strike.
This match worth 2 points, so the Jacks were close to within 13 with a win. There's the man who's next up here.
There's a lot of encouragement for the Union Jacks and for Watson just to, yeah, and a horn, just to get her over the line here. There's a couple of tentative forehands from Watson.
30-15.
Each time she's backed off, Raducanu has been able to capitalise, so she needs to keep pushing.
Just didn't get there. I'll be a little disappointed with the footwork. Didn't make the most of a
40-15.
fortunate return. It could have been difficult, but Watson was up to it, as she has been all afternoon here.
Game, set and match.
Her best performance of the week by a distance for Heather Watson. It's another big win for the Union Jacks, who are on the comeback trail here. The experience definitely trumps youth this afternoon. Watson beats 17-year-old Emma Raducanu 2 and 4.
Just keep going, Jack!
Really was a fantastic performance from Watson's right from the start. It was such a good level. Raducanu just couldn't keep up with it. And she did not relent. She looked calm, focused, very impressive.
So what's the score now? What's the score now?
Wasn't to be for Emma Raducanu today. Couple of good wins, but second best by a distance.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Watson has improved through the week. She's got 3 singles wins now under her belt, but Raducanu this week has been filled with you know, all sorts of fabulous opportunities, and she's really earned them. But yeah, this time just coming out on the wrong end.
Heather Watson just having a quick chat with
yeah, it's basically like digestive chocolate syrup.
Judy Murray.
Great work, that is. Very nice. And great work. Who made this? Oh, big thing.
Let's go down and hear from the winner. Super impressive display. Abby Johnson will be the lady asking the questions.
Heather, every win for the Union Jacks is crucial right now. How were you able to get this done in straight sets?
Yeah, it was a great day for me today. I had been saying after each of my previous matches that I'm getting better and getting better each match, but today was a big jump. I definitely played some really good tennis. I was enjoying the pace she gave me, and I thought the conditions being hotter today, the ball travelling faster, I was just loving it, and I thought I played really well.
You mentioned you were a bit nervous ahead of yesterday's match. With the form that Emma's been in, did that make you feel a bit less of a heavy favourite coming in, and did that take some pressure off for you?
No, to be honest, I've been nervous before every match. They're my first matches back. This is my first week of playing matches since the pandemic began. So yeah, it's getting that match practice in, and I'm just getting used to the stress of playing a match, and I think I'm just dealing with it better and feeling great.
Looks like the Union Jacks had a bit of an emergency team meeting at the end of yesterday. Were there any key words of advice given in that little exchange?
No, I wouldn't say advice, just trying to decide the lineup for the next day. I'm absolutely loving my team, really happy I got put with all the different characters. I think we're definitely beating the Bulldogs in team spirit, that's for sure.
Yeah, just talk a bit about that energy on the bench. How much are you aware of that during the match, and how much does it lift you?
Oh yeah, I'm very aware of it. I love playing in front of a crowd usually, and just having them so loud and behind me, it really does give me that extra push.
Well done on a great win today. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Well, that is exactly what Heather Watson would have ordered. 3 matches under the belt and getting better and better. And as she said, quite the jump in level today. But it had to be against Raducanu, possibly the other most informed player here on the women's side when it comes to the singles game. Just take a little look at the numbers. Just a little low for Raducanu on the first serve points won. Okay, the first serve percentage was up much higher than the previous 2 matches, but definitely was not getting the pop on it that she would have liked, particularly in these nice, warm, lively conditions. It was just a little slower than those previous matches, and she wasn't getting a huge amount of cheap points. She did manage to get that going a bit in the second set, but it just wasn't quite enough to turn things around. Look at that number, bottom of Watson. 27 winners to only the 9 of Raducanu. A huge amount coming up off the forehand wing for Watson. It was an awesome display, very aggressive. And this is how she did it. Very pleased with that win and feeling really good. And she has been after each match, actually. Lots of smiles, enjoying the week and enjoying her team, as she mentioned. Union Jacks through and through. And you can just see them there in the background having a bit of a team chat. Must be pleased with how things are going midway through day 4. Next match coming up for you is Andy Murray, Lloyd Glasspool against Dominic Inglot and Alistair Gray.